All right, everybody. So I'm going to show you how the lab works for our population diversity lab that we're going to be doing today. So I'm going to go over this in class, but a lot of you may not start it exactly today. So you're going to get a bag, all right? And inside the Ziploc bag is going to be 25 cards, and they all have a saying on it. Most of them say mouse of same color background survives, but there are some other ones that say either all mouse survives or all mice die. So just on Classroom, I have exactly what each card means. But you're going to take those cards, and they'll go, okay, inside of a cup. And then you also have the little squares. And so your little squares are gray and white, and there are 25 of each. If you don't get gray and white squares, I do have some bags made up. I ran out of gray, so I do have some bags that are gray and brown, but gray, brown, same thing. All right, so here's how this works. Those also go in a cup. All right, now, these represent your mice. So if you get 2 gray squares, gray plus gray, that equals a gray mouse, right? If you get 2 white squares, white plus white, that equals a white mouse. But if you get a heterozygous, gray and white, gray is dominant, so that is also a gray mouse. So you have 2 possibilities of getting a gray mouse, gray and gray or gray and white. You have 1 possibility of getting a white mouse, white and white. All right, so you put all those in the cup. So here's how this works. You got a plate, get your cups. All right, you're gonna reach in there without looking, you're gonna draw 2 squares. Hey, look at that. I drew gray and gray, which is a gray mouse, Now, your mice have a background. This gray sheet of paper, right? So this gray sheet of paper is laying here. Hey, look at that. My gray mice can hide on the gray background. Okay? So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to draw a out of here, out of the cup, and it says, I drew mouse of same color background survives. All right. So in this case, because the mice are the same color as the background, it's gray mice on a gray background, they survive. These mice go on the plate, which is the survival plate. All right, now just to show you, keep doing this, all right? On your data table that you have, which you can type on in Classroom, I would now go on here and it says white mouse data, gray mouse data. In this case, it was a gray mouse. I had gray mice and they survive, so I make a tally mark. All right, pretty simple. All right, now I'm gonna look this time just so I can see, so I can show you the other possibilities. Look, here I have a gray and white. Now this is a gray mouse because gray is dominant. Okay? So on the background, all right, it's still a gray mouse. All right, I go ahead and draw, and let's see what I draw. And again, I do the same thing. Mouse of same color background survives. So again, these mice survive. I'm going to go here. I go to my data table, and I type in again, I had another gray mouse that survived. This time, let's pretend that I pulled out 2 white squares, which is a white mouse, which obviously you can see on the background. All right. And I pull out again, because there's a lot of these in there, mouse of same color background survives. All right, so I did that again, but in this case, it's a white mouse. So it's not the same color as the background. So that mouse is going to die. So mice that die go back into the baggie. I will repeat this until I have drawn all of my mice out of here, all of my mice. Any mice that die go in the bag. All mice that survive go on the plate. And that is generation 1. Once I have completed generation 1, all the mice that are in the bag that are dead stay in the bag. I take all the mice that survived that are on the plate, I dump them all back into the cup, and I repeat it again for generation 2. And then I'll do the whole thing again. Then I'll do generation 3, generation 4, generation 5. You can kind of guess what eventually is going to start to happen with your mice. Your cards that you're picking, all right? You take those cards, and after you use them, you always kind of reshuffle them. All right, for each generation, you can reshuffle them. All right, however, and you can put them back in there. Some of the others that are on there on the cards, I never drew these, but you have some that say like disease kills mouse, so it doesn't matter what the mouse color is, that mouse dies. Mice of all color die. So there's a couple, but most of them, as you can see, is mouse of same color background that survives. So that is the population diversity. Once you have completed the data table for all 5 generations, on the back, it's a summary of how many survived. You take that summary and you make a graph out of it. The graph paper is actually available to you. This whole page is all in Classroom. You can just type directly on it in Classroom. But I'll actually have copies of this for you to make your graph. It's going to be a double line graph, right? One bar for gray mice and one line for gray mice and one line for white mice. You have a few simple questions to answer down there at the bottom. Don't forget a title, labels for your axes. All right, that is the Population Diversity Lab, how to do it. I'll be showing you that in class, but that's just in case you don't start it today and you need some help. Here I am helping you. All right, have a good one.